I want you to take a look at this picture. Why do you think this content creator was arrested? Was it for a prank gone wrong? Was it for a bank robbery? Well, if you answered pissing on groceries, you would be correct. This woman is so disgusting, and apparently she has been doing this for years. Let's take a look at the news clipping.
This is a real shocker.
Yeah, she needs some kind of help, something.
I mean, nothing surprises me anymore.
Shoppers in Keene are equally confused and disgusted after learning about the arrest of Kelly Tedford. The 23-year-old is now charged with felony criminal mischief, accused of using her own urine to contaminate products at the Monadnock Co-op grocery store and posting a video of the act online.
So there's tons of people that shop there.
No, that's not right.
Keene police say they got a tip about that video on Valentine's Day and contacted the co-op. The store writing on its website in part, "We immediately reviewed store video, identified affected products, removed them from our shelves, and sanitized all surfaces. We also reached out to members who purchased at-risk products." The co-op is issuing a recall for several types of quinoa, plus cornmeal, polenta, coconut shreds, and raw walnuts due to contamination. Investigators say it will cost the store more than $1,500.
I can't imagine if there was somebody in there that actually saw her do that, what they would do.
According to police, this wasn't an isolated incident. Investigators say they've uncovered multiple videos showing Tedford contaminating other stores with her urine dating back as far as 2021.
I'm completely shocked and dismayed about what this woman decided to do and for how long she's gotten away with this.
Police haven't said exactly where those other locations are, but noted more charges may be coming.
And we also have a lot of people that are trying to capitalize on the strangest things.
And this is what I find crazy. This woman has been doing this for 4 years. 4 years she's been pissing on people's groceries. Holy shit, that is incredibly disgusting. Now, every time I go to the grocery store, I always make sure that everything is sealed and that there's no tampering, because people are just completely insane, as you have just witnessed. But when we look at the items that she was targeting, it's possible that some of these were out in the open. Sometimes they have these little open bars where you can just grab some quinoa or grab some walnuts. And if that's what she pissed on, then that means some people probably ingested it, which is utterly gross. I mean, someone like that should be locked up for eternity. But while we're on the topic of how much time she'll be spending in jail, let's take a look at the potential penalties that she's facing for this felony. So according to the press release, she was charged with a Class B felony, which is criminal mischief. Now, the reason why it is a Class B felony and not a Class A misdemeanor is because there was intentional damage upwards of $1,000. And for that specific incident, she is facing up to 7 years in prison and a fine of $4,000 or both. Now, keep in mind that this is for one incident, one charge for one incident. She's been doing this for 4 years. So it's quite possible that they will find other incidents and then just give her more charges, which is the same thing that happened with Wolfie Coletti. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Wolfie Coletti. He was arrested in Arizona last month, and it turns out that his name was Charles Smith, the most boring name ever, and maybe that's why he's lashing out. And the charges, they just kept coming. At first, they charged him with a Class A misdemeanor, and then he turned himself in, and just a few weeks later, they charged him with a felony, which was burglary. So this guy is totally screwed. And in the case of the other woman, it's just going to get worse from there, because she admitted herself and she posted the evidence of her crimes, up to 4 years of footage of her pissing on groceries. And when it comes to Coletti or this new brain dead moron, they are going to be extremely screwed if the feds decide to take interest in their cases, because yes, contaminating food is a federal crime. Here it says it is prohibited by Title 18 U.S. Code 1365, the Federal Anti-Tampering Act, and tampering with a food product at any point in the supply chain, including manufacturing, distribution, or storage, tampering with the labeling or container of a food product, conspiring with others to tamper with a food product, making a false statement about tampering with a food product, And if you're found guilty of this, you'll face fines up to $250,000, and the prison terms can range from 5 years to life, and it's life imprisonment if someone dies as a result. So in the case of the new lunatic, I don't think anybody could die from piss, but with Charles Smith, when he was spraying the pesticide, someone could have died from that. It is poison. So I wonder if the feds will get involved with Charles Smith's case. Now, that federal statute is really important to protect the American citizens from people with bad intentions like Wolfie Coletti and the other idiot, but it was created after a catastrophe that happened in Chicago in the 1980s called the Tylenol murders. Now, this was really, really unfortunate. Over 7 people died because there was laced Tylenol with cyanide. And it was a complete catastrophe for the brand. They lost stock. And all these years later, now we're 40 years later, they still haven't caught the killer. But this guy appears to be a suspect.
Around then 36-year-old James Lewis. Lewis admitted to the FBI that he sent an extortion letter to Tylenol's parent company, Johnson & Johnson, at the time. Now the Chicago Tribune reports it has obtained video and thousands of documents which outline law enforcement's current case and even what they believe is a motive for the killing. Among the key findings, according to the Tribune, technological advancements allowed investigators to determine the postmark date on Lewis's extortion letter. In it, he wrote, "As you can see, it is easy to place cyanide into capsules sitting on store shelves," and demanded $1 million be wired to a bank account if you want to stop the killing. The newly outlined timeline suggests Lewis wrote the letter before the public knew the deaths were linked to tainted Tylenol pills. Still, Lewis, who is now 76, has long denied any involvement in the murders and has never been charged.
Honestly, these 3 cases just show how humanity is totally depraved. Even in the 80s, people were willing to kill to get something out of it. I guess in this case, $1 million. But now people are willing to do that for literally hundreds of dollars on TikTok. I mean, Charles Smith was willing to take someone's life by spraying pesticide on groceries, by throwing ice in a deep fryer, and he was willing to do this for only $10,000 a month. And that's what he says he was making. Obviously, he was overinflating that number because TikTok doesn't pay that much. Now, what's even more concerning is that the woman was probably doing this for free. Why do I know she was doing this for free? Is because she went undetected for 4 years. That means that these TikTok videos probably had dozens of views and no one reported it because no one saw it. So she was risking people's lives and their well-being just for nothing, for a sick, twisted pleasure and the illusion that one day she might get a little bit of clout, which is pathetic. But anyways, let me know what you think about this situation. That's it for the video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm dedicated to showing you exactly how depraved humanity is and how desperate these clout chasers are. So make sure you are subscribed, that way you are less likely to miss my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.